Well, hey guys, it's a mild day here in Virginia Beach in early February. So we're going to take the Spyder out for a ride. It's been in the garage, plugged in the life support, you might say, for the past few weeks. The battery tender on it. But it's mild outside, so we're going to get out and get everything warmed up, get the oil circulating, all the fluids, and just do a good shakedown. Plus it's good for the old spirit. Myself, just to get out there and it's also good for me just to get out and get some fresh air and get some time on the Spyder. So over the past month or so, I've been busy reviewing my plans for 2023 and really the outline for the rest of my life. It's just something that I enjoy doing, just kind of focusing on where I'm at and where I want to go. And I want to have a clear vision of who I want to be. Who do I want to be to myself, my family, my community, and pretty much in that order. Because if I don't take care of myself first, I can't take care of my family. And then and only then do I focus on what do I want to do to create a vision for my own future, and specifically for traveling, which is very important to us. And most of you have probably worked this out, but you probably haven't thought about it to use those words. But most folks do just think about what they want to be and what they want to do and move in that direction. If we didn't as a species have that predetermined mindset, I think we'd still be living in grass huts and caves. So I think this is quite a common thing. So what does this reflection indicate? We've given some thought to our next trip. We're going to go up towards Canada way sometime in the spring. It is not going to be as long or as distant as the last year's trip. But we do want to hit some areas we've never been to. So up to take the Spyder home kind of thing. Go up to hopefully we can get a tour of the Spyder factory. Even though they will not be making Spyders that time of the year, they'll be making snowmobiles. They make snowmobiles in the summer and the Spyders in the winter. So I also want to spend just a moment and talk about the RV plan. What are our thoughts about the RV so far? Well, we know we really enjoyed the trip in 22, back we did in the spring, being gone for 2 months. But the concept of staying in a hotel every night and eating restaurant meals is financially unsustainable. It is expensive. Don't know if we would spend another 2 months on the road in the Spyders, which brings in the concept of the RV. For equal trips to the one we took to 2 months or even longer, we were thinking somewhere in the area of 3 to 6 months typically per year we'd spend on the road with the RV, and the Spyder would be trailer. That would be our local transportation to get around to do some sightseeing and exploring. We plan on doing a lot of traveling on the Spyder and then using the RV as a fixed base. Right now, the configuration we are thinking about is either a Class A or a Class C, a smaller one with a trailer for the Spyder, as opposed to a toy hauler. Because when you get into toy haulers, you're paying a lot more for the equipment, taxes, upkeep, and we don't really want to do that. So we're just going to be doing a Class A or a Class C with the trailer. And the advantages of that is you sleep in the same bed every night. You can prepare your own meals as much as you want, and that really cuts down on the price. But how much does it actually cost? Well, I've run the numbers. If you factor in the annual depreciation, maintenance, taxes, operating cost, everything, you would have to spend between 45 to 60 days on the road per year to break even in relation to a trip where you're staying at hotels and eating in restaurant meals. So it does indicate it to be more cost effective to do it that way, and so that is our plan. Got to do a lot of research between now and actually acquiring whatever machine we acquire. Got to decide exactly what we want as far as features and why we want them, and go in that direction. We're thinking that we would target actually acquiring the RV sometime at the earliest September-ish, and at the latest spring of 24. So that's our window we're shooting for. But you know, we will see. If it doesn't happen, that's okay. We're going to enjoy traveling on the Spyder, even if we don't do a trip like the Asphalt Odyssey lap around America. But we're going to be doing a lot of traveling. It appears that annually in the month of February, or where we are today, that we get a couple days that's real mild. It's in the low 70s today. Typically our winter days, the temperatures are in the 40s. You know, 30s at nighttime, maybe 50s if we're lucky, but we get these in February occasionally, and so I was looking forward to this, take advantage of it for several things. Got the Spyder out for a ride, and get to enjoy one of the cigars I picked up in Tampa. I don't smoke this in the house because it gives a residual smell that most people do not find appealing. So I have to come out here to the garage or in the yard. So I sit out here and smoke a good cigar. And most folks find them to be, well, rather unpleasant. But a cigar is like a fine wine, a good whiskey, especially the good cigars, which is the type I smoke. Since I smoke so few, I choose to get good cigars. Now, to me, a good cigar means it's blended with not blended, but it's made with tobaccos from Central America, typically. Can't afford Cubans, don't want a Cuban cigar. And they're all handmade. And a good cigar contains one, sometimes two ingredients. They contain tobacco, and they may contain pectin, which is a fruit-based protein to make the leaf wrapper stay in place. And that's it. If you look at a typical cigarette that you smoke, I believe the average ingredient count is 200 separate ingredients. And there's a lot of toxicity in those ingredients. So not saying that tobacco is good for you by any stretch of the imagination, but I do limit myself to just a few a year. And when I mentioned this to my doctor, he said, as far as he's concerned, that constitutes a non-smoker because I've been averaging 4 a year. And unlike a cigarette, if you don't maintain it, it goes out. So there's some tools you have to buy to smoke a cigar. But we were talking about the RV earlier, and some of the advantages of that RV, that if you are boondocking, staying at locations typically on public lands where there are no connections, no sewage, no water, no electricity, and you're self-contained, there's no cost to that whatsoever except for the propane you're using and the water you're using. And electricity can be generated either by solar, which is our plan, or by a generator periodically. So it is actually less expensive than running your household during the day, and that's what we want to do. Go to places where we can boondock at least 60% of the time, and get the chance to ride the Spyder in some places, and then have a nice, comfortable place where we can stay for typically about 2 weeks as far as the the individual government entities will allow you to stay on public lands before you have to move on to another part of the public lands. Commonly this is referred to as national forest property. Our Bureau of Land Management lands out west, a large portion of the southwest United States, is owned by the Bureau of Land Management. Our internet service we hope to be provided by Starlink, which is a satellite-based system, so we should have high-speed internet. It should be quite comfortable. That is the direction we want to move. So we're actually going to see if this is going to happen or not. A lot of variables, but before I can spend a lot of time doing research on RVs, we need to plan for our next trip, which is roughly outlined. We need a lot more planning for that. It's going to be 2 to 3 weeks. So that's coming up in June. So we're looking forward to that trip. So guys, I need to drink my coffee and enjoy this weather some more. Go inside and get some more administrative work done. And we will catch you guys next time. Thanks.